Speeding. Speeding happens when a driver travels faster than the posted limit or faster than conditions safely allow. Many people think a few extra miles per hour make little difference, but higher speeds dramatically reduce reaction time and increase stopping distance. Speed limits are designed around road layout, visibility, traffic volume, and accident history. Even experienced drivers have less time to react when traveling too fast. Tailgating. Tailgating means following another vehicle too closely. It often happens during heavy traffic or when a driver becomes impatient. The problem is that every vehicle needs space to stop safely. If the car ahead brakes suddenly, a tailgating driver may not have enough time to avoid a collision. Rear-end crashes remain one of the most common types of accidents for this reason. Distracted driving. Distracted driving occurs when attention shifts away from the road. Phones, navigation screens, food, conversations, and even adjusting vehicle controls can become distractions. Modern vehicles contain more technology than ever before, but human attention remains limited. A few seconds of distraction at highway speed can cover the length of a football field without the driver fully watching the road. Not using turn signals. Not using turn signals leaves other drivers guessing about future movements. Signals were introduced to make traffic more predictable and reduce misunderstandings between road users. Without them, nearby vehicles may brake unexpectedly or move into the same space. A simple signal often prevents confusion before it begins. Rolling through stop signs. Rolling through a stop sign happens when a driver slows down but never comes to a complete stop. The mistake usually comes from familiarity with an area or impatience. Stop signs exist because visibility or crossing traffic creates potential conflict. Even when a road appears empty, a full stop provides time to verify that it truly is safe. Running red lights. Running a red light means entering an intersection after the signal has already changed to stop traffic. Intersections bring vehicles together from multiple directions, making them some of the most dangerous points on a road network. A single red light violation can create high-speed side impact collisions, with very little protection for occupants. Improper lane changes. Improper lane changes happen when drivers move between lanes without enough space or without checking surrounding traffic. Multi-lane roads depend on predictable movement. Sudden lane changes force others to brake, swerve, or react quickly. Small mistakes in lane positioning can have large consequences at highway speeds. Blind spot neglect. Blind spot neglect occurs when a driver relies entirely on mirrors without checking areas that mirrors cannot fully cover. Every vehicle has blind spots, regardless of size. Modern technology can help detect nearby vehicles, but visual checks remain important. Many sideswipe accidents happen because a driver assumes a lane is clear when it is not. Driving too slowly. Driving too slowly can be just as disruptive as speeding in some situations. Traffic systems work best when vehicles move at similar speeds. A vehicle traveling significantly below the normal flow may create unexpected obstacles and force other drivers into risky passing maneuvers. Safe driving often means matching conditions while remaining within legal limits. Braking too hard. Braking too hard usually results from poor anticipation. Drivers who focus only on the vehicle directly ahead often react late to changing conditions. Smooth braking gives following drivers more time to respond and reduces wear on vehicle components. Sudden braking can trigger chain reactions in busy traffic. Riding the brakes. Riding the brakes means keeping light pressure on the brake pedal for extended periods. This commonly happens on downhill roads or in stop-and-go traffic. Constant brake use generates excess heat and reduces braking effectiveness over time. Proper speed control often requires balancing braking with careful throttle management. Aggressive driving. Aggressive driving includes behaviors such as excessive speeding, rapid lane changes, and intentional intimidation of other road users. Traffic systems rely heavily on cooperation. Aggressive behavior increases unpredictability and reduces safety margins for everyone nearby. Small frustrations can escalate into dangerous situations surprisingly quickly. Cutting off other drivers. Cutting off another driver happens when a vehicle moves into a lane without leaving enough space. The maneuver forces others to brake or change direction suddenly. Roads function best when drivers provide adequate room for each other's actions. Respecting spacing helps prevent unnecessary conflicts. Not yielding right-of-way. Not yielding right-of-way occurs when a driver enters a space that legally belongs to another road user. Traffic laws establish priority to reduce confusion at intersections, merges, and crossings. Ignoring those rules creates uncertainty and increases the likelihood of collisions. Predictability remains one of the foundations of safe driving. Failing to check mirrors. Failing to check mirrors reduces awareness of what is happening around the vehicle. Good drivers constantly monitor traffic behind and beside them, not just ahead. Mirrors provide early warning about approaching vehicles, changing traffic patterns, and potential hazards. Without regular mirror checks, important information can be missed. Improper merging. Improper merging happens when drivers enter traffic too aggressively or too cautiously. Merging requires matching the speed of surrounding vehicles and finding an appropriate gap. Many traffic slowdowns occur because drivers hesitate or force their way into traffic, rather than blending smoothly with the flow. Blocking intersections. Blocking an intersection occurs when a driver enters without enough room to fully clear it. Congested urban areas often experience this problem during peak traffic periods. Once a vehicle becomes trapped in the intersection, traffic movement in multiple directions can be affected. The result is often confusion and unnecessary delays. Improper passing. Improper passing happens when a driver overtakes another vehicle in unsafe conditions. Passing requires sufficient visibility, adequate distance, and awareness of oncoming traffic. Roads often include specific passing zones because not every section provides enough safety margin. Patience is often safer than a risky overtake. Not adjusting for weather conditions. Not adjusting for weather conditions is a common mistake because roads may look safer than they actually are. Rain, snow, fog, and ice reduce traction and visibility. Vehicle capabilities remain the same, but available grip and reaction time change significantly. Safe drivers adapt speed and following distance to match the environment. Ignoring dashboard warnings. Ignoring dashboard warnings allows small problems to become larger ones. Modern vehicles monitor dozens of systems continuously and alert drivers when something needs attention. Not every warning indicates immediate danger, but many provide early notice before a breakdown occurs. Responding early often reduces repair costs and safety risks. Driving while fatigued. Driving while fatigued affects judgment, reaction time, and awareness. Studies have shown that severe fatigue can impair performance similarly to alcohol. Long trips, poor sleep, and extended work hours all contribute to driver exhaustion. Unlike mechanical failures, fatigue often develops gradually and may go unnoticed until attention begins to slip. Using high beams incorrectly. Using high beams incorrectly can reduce safety for everyone on the road. High beams improve visibility in dark areas but can temporarily blind oncoming drivers. Proper use requires switching back to normal headlights whenever other vehicles are nearby. The goal is improved visibility without creating new hazards. Ignoring school zones. Ignoring school zones places children at unnecessary risk. These areas often have lower speed limits because children can behave unpredictably near roads. School zone rules recognize that young pedestrians may not always judge vehicle speed or distance accurately. Extra caution helps compensate for those limitations. Ignoring construction zones. Ignoring construction zones exposes both drivers and workers to danger. Road layouts often change temporarily, creating unfamiliar traffic patterns. Reduced speed limits and warning signs exist because work crews may be operating close to moving traffic. Conditions can change daily as projects progress. Stopping in crosswalks. Stopping in crosswalks blocks space intended for pedestrians. Crosswalks create predictable crossing points that help separate foot traffic from vehicles. When a vehicle occupies that space, pedestrians may be forced into less visible and more dangerous areas of the road. Not watching for pedestrians. Not watching for pedestrians is a mistake often caused by focusing too heavily on other vehicles. Roads are shared by many users, including people on foot. Pedestrians are smaller, slower, and more vulnerable than vehicles. A driver's responsibility extends beyond simply avoiding other cars. Misusing roundabouts. Misusing roundabouts usually comes from misunderstanding entry and priority rules. Roundabouts are designed to keep traffic moving continuously while reducing severe collisions. Drivers entering must yield to vehicles already circulating. When used correctly, they often improve both safety and traffic flow. Turning from the wrong lane. Turning from the wrong lane creates unexpected conflicts with nearby traffic. Lane markings and signs are designed to organize movements before an intersection. Ignoring those assignments forces other drivers to react to unexpected vehicle paths. Proper positioning begins well before the turn itself. Failure to maintain lane position. Failure to maintain lane position occurs when a vehicle drifts within or across lane boundaries. Fatigue, distraction, poor visibility, and inattention are common causes. Staying centered within a lane helps create predictable movement and maintains safe spacing between vehicles traveling side by side. Panic braking. Panic braking happens when a driver reacts suddenly without fully assessing the situation. While emergencies sometimes require maximum braking force, panic often results from poor anticipation rather than unavoidable danger. Looking farther ahead and planning earlier helps reduce the need for sudden reactions. Driving one-handed reduces steering control, particularly during unexpected situations. Modern vehicles have power steering systems that make steering easier than in the past, but emergencies can still require rapid and precise inputs. Using both hands provides greater control and stability when conditions change quickly. Smartphone use while driving. Smartphone use while driving combines visual, manual, and mental distraction. Few activities pull attention away from driving as completely as reading or sending messages. Roads change constantly and conditions can shift within seconds. Safe driving requires continuous awareness rather than occasional attention. Driving in another driver's blind spot. Driving in another driver's blind spot increases the chance of being overlooked during lane changes. Even attentive drivers cannot see every area around their vehicle at all times. Remaining visible whenever possible reduces uncertainty and helps other road users make safer decisions. Failure to adapt to traffic flow. Failure to adapt to traffic flow happens when a driver focuses only on their own vehicle without considering the movement of others. Traffic behaves as a connected system where each action influences nearby drivers. Understanding patterns and anticipating changes creates smoother, safer movement for everyone. Turning without checking cross traffic. Turning without checking cross traffic often results from assumptions rather than observation. A clear path one moment can change quickly as vehicles, cyclists, or pedestrians approach. Intersections require constant verification because multiple streams of traffic converge in the same area. Not understanding right-of-way. Not understanding right-of-way creates confusion at intersections, crosswalks, and merging points. Traffic laws assign priority to make decisions predictable. When drivers misunderstand or ignore those rules, everyone nearby must guess what will happen next. Clear expectations are essential for road safety. Following large trucks too closely. Following large trucks too closely reduces visibility and reaction time. Trucks block much of the road ahead, making it harder to see changing conditions. Their size also creates larger blind spots and longer stopping distances. Maintaining extra space improves both visibility and safety. Misjudging yellow lights. Misjudging yellow lights often leads to rushed decisions near intersections. The yellow phase exists to provide transition time, not encourage acceleration. Drivers must quickly decide whether stopping or continuing is safer. Good judgment comes from anticipating signal changes rather than reacting at the last moment. Failing to yield to emergency vehicles. Failing to yield to emergency vehicles delays critical services that may be responding to life-threatening situations. Sirens and flashing lights are designed to gain immediate attention in complex traffic environments. Quick, predictable cooperation helps emergency crews reach their destinations safely and efficiently. Driving while emotional. Driving while emotional affects decision-making in subtle ways. Anger, frustration, sadness, and stress can all influence reactions behind the wheel. Emotional driving often leads to impatience, reduced concentration, and unnecessary risk-taking. Calm judgment remains one of the most valuable driving skills. Overconfidence behind the wheel. Overconfidence behind the wheel develops when familiarity creates a false sense of security. Experience is valuable, but no driver can control every variable on the road. Weather, traffic, mechanical issues, and human behavior remain unpredictable. Safe drivers respect those uncertainties regardless of how long they have been driving.